Welcome to another MKB Law cast. Today we have Katrina Olver. Katrina is one of the solicitors in our residential conveyance department. Recently joined us a couple of months now, Katrina, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. Coming on 3 months, I think.
Very good. And you couldn't have joined at a better time. Obviously, we had the anticipation there of the budget and not knowing what was going to happen with stamp duty. And now we're in the busy festive period.
Yeah, conveyancing coming up to Christmas, always a fun time.
Well, absolutely, and I suppose that's what we're going to focus on today. Just pretty much a day in the life of a conveyancer at this time of the year. I mean, what are you seeing at the minute, Katrina?
So coming up to Christmas, we have all the pressures of pre-Christmas completions. New houses being agreed tend to slow down at this time of year, but it's trying to complete existing ones, and there is nothing that will strike fear into a conveyancer solicitor's heart than the phrase, "I want to be in for Christmas."
Very. And what's the cutoff? What's the absolute cutoff date?
So it's interesting you ask that, actually, because I've seen various different cutoffs in solicitor emails over the last while. Yeah. The earliest one being the 12th of December for pre-Christmas completions, which seems quite early. Yeah. To me, I would say probably 19th. Probably thereabouts being the latest.
Yeah, it's the week after you're getting into, and just for anyone that's listening to this that I suppose isn't familiar with the conveyancing process, it's not that we're all going off on holiday the next week. There's other considerations. Obviously.
Certainly not. It's mostly about money moving.
Yeah.
It's a banking issue as opposed to a legal issue. It is the fact that lenders have their own internal cut-off times. And obviously, if we complete too close to Christmas, your money may go up into the air, float around for a while, and then not land with us until January.
It's a very stressful process for anyone buying or selling a house, no matter what time of the year. What compels people to want to do this at this time of year before Christmas? I mean, surely the pressures that you're getting is, I need to have my tree up by a certain time, or...
That's true. And personally, I can think of nothing worse than trying to get into a new house and putting the tree up pre-Christmas. But people have that lovely picture in their head of the nice new house, the Christmas tree, nice cup of coffee in their nice new kitchen. And I can see that that's an appealing idea. But the pressure that people put themselves under and put us under to get in for Christmas, I suspect maybe outweighs the enjoyment.
Yeah. And what about the unlucky ones that it's just not going to happen for? It's just...
I think that's the most important thing for clients, is to be realistic and be flexible.
Yeah.
That if you agree a property late in November, the chances of me getting you completed and in for Christmas are probably quite slim. We can do everything we can, but it takes everything to fall into place.
Yeah. And you said that the new house sales and purchases and the new inquiries coming in traditionally slow down in December. Are you seeing anything different this year than any other year?
We've been busier this year than I would have expected in the sort of late November period. It's definitely, there's been more new instructions in than I've noticed in previous years. Yeah. I'm not sure what the reason for that is this year. But it is an interesting change.
Yeah. And what about, what are you seeing? The second-hand market, new builds?
Second-hand market, yeah. Possibly maybe slightly at the slightly cheaper end of the market rather than the more expensive houses. But yeah, they have been very busy.
Yeah. And any other general trends you're seeing in the market at the minute? I mean, lenders are all still active.
No issues with lenders. Mortgage instructions are coming through. Everything's moving well. Yeah. Property certificates are coming in reasonably quickly, but traditionally, again, that can slow down in the last couple of weeks before Christmas as well, which is another reason why we may not be able to facilitate a completion as quickly as we might like in the last few days before Christmas.
Yeah. And just generally, what kind of timescales are you looking at for from you go sale agreed on the purchase or sale of a property until it completes?
So we would usually tell clients to bear sort of 6 to 8 weeks in mind for if everything goes according to plan, a mortgage offer comes in when it should, and there's no major title issues that we have to resolve. Once something like that happens, then, we need to reassess and see what this is going to take to resolve the problem.
Yeah.
And then the timescales are slightly different.
Okay. Obviously, I spoke at an event recently. It was a first-time buyers event, and we had presentation by the estate agent, we had a presentation by a mortgage broker, a presentation by a bank. These people are all, the estate agent's showing you around the house, and the mortgage broker's sorting you out with money, and the bank's giving you the money. And I made the joke that the conveyancer's job is to really find problems and to deliver bad news. That was obviously a bit of a tongue-in-cheek answer, but there is a perception sometimes amongst clients that the solicitor is a barrier to completion. Please dispel that myth for us, Katrina.
Of course, that's certainly not true. We want to get you completed just as much as you want to complete your house. We want everything to run as smoothly as possible. We're not looking for problems, but what we're trying to do is protect your interests. Yeah. If you're buying a house that has a problem on it, if we let you go ahead and buy that, then you're going to have problems whenever you come to sell the property down the line. And it's going to be your responsibility and at your cost to resolve that problem.
Yeah, and that is the point that people probably overlook the most, that these problems only come to light 3, 4, 5 years down the line when you go to remortgage or you go to sell. And hopefully it's a phone call that none of us that work in the industry will ever get. But it's not a nice phone call. Nice phone call to get. And so 2026 is nearly upon us, and what are we expecting? More of the same, or? Hopefully
so. I mean, it's been a very busy couple of months here. There's been a lot of new instructions in, so hopefully 2026 continues that way.
And just on, I touched already on it, but just on the new build market, we are seeing almost a bit of a throwback now to the 2006, 2007, where it's contract and 10% deposit.
Contract deposit and timescales are back.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot more of sort of 6 weeks for contracts, 8 weeks for contracts. Now, I haven't had any experience so far of those time limits being strictly enforced the way they were in 2007, but I'd say that's a matter of time.
Mm-hmm. And you and I are in this game long enough to remember the perils back then. Does it fill you with dread as much as it fills?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, well, absolutely. Not a nice phone call to have to make to a client to say we've missed the cutoff or our contracts, your mortgage offer isn't in, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah, and the risk, just for anyone who wasn't actively involved in the property market back then, but the risk is obviously on a new build property that the client's going into contract now for a completion date, which could be anywhere up to 12 months down the line.
That's true.
And the risk for that is obviously we don't have a crystal ball. We can't look into the future, so we don't know what's going to happen with the property market. And quite often they won't have a mortgage offer in place, or they simply can't get a mortgage offer that.
Or if they did, it would expire before the completion date was upon us. So that is certainly a risk for clients, and it's something they need to consider very carefully before entering into that contract. You know, they need to have a very good chat with their mortgage advisor, make sure that there's no issues there, and keep their credit report clean for that intervening period to make sure nothing crops up in that time that would prevent the mortgage offer being issued.
Yeah. And what about in terms of yourself? Obviously, you joined us a couple of months ago now, but I mean, you have a long career before coming here. What made you opt for property and specifically residential property?
So I suppose the firm that I did my training in was a property firm.
Yeah.
So I trained in property and probate. Probate work I did enjoy, but always had a preference for the property work. I trained with some fantastic solicitors.
Yeah.
And it's just something that I really enjoy. I enjoy dealing with clients. I enjoy that personal touch that you get with conveyancing that you don't necessarily get in other fields of work, where you're dealing with people in a stressful time.
Yeah.
And, there's no better feeling than phoning somebody at the end of it and saying, your keys are ready, you can go collect them.
And you can put your tree up.
Put your tree up.
And I think that's something that, we obviously talk about lawyers being either contentious or non-contentious. Mm-hmm. I find that our contentious colleagues who work in the litigation end, sometimes from the outside looking in, it feels like they're always firefighting. They don't always get that opportunity to deliver the good news. But I also found it very satisfying to be able to pick up the phone to a client and say, go and pick up your keys. And, you're a significant part of a massive move for some people,
it is. Moving house is a stressful thing for people to do.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be able to take a little bit of that pressure off.
Very good. And in terms of the industry generally, obviously we have a close relationship with the estate agents. We work obviously closely with mortgage brokers and banks as well. Is there anything that works really well for you Give me a do and a don't.
For estate agent, it would probably be try to manage expectations for completion dates. Try not to set completion dates or give unreasonable timescales for things, because the estate agent hasn't seen the title. Usually we haven't seen the title at that stage, and something can be in there that's just going to take longer to resolve than they have been promised, and then that leads to disappointment and it leads to frustrations before we've even really got started.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we've all seen the sales advice coming in that has a completion date of 4 weeks down the line, and the client really does cling to that.
And, it's something that we can try to accommodate, but it's just not always within our control.
Yeah. But it is very much, I always see our role along with the estate agents and the mortgage brokers and the bank as being, we are part of, okay, we might not be part of a team, but we're part of a process.
Absolutely.
And we have to work hand in hand with
absolutely.
with
I had a case very recently where there was a very complicated title issue, and the estate agent was fantastic in managing expectations and managing clients on different sides and getting us to a really good conclusion for everybody. Yeah.
And a good agent as well. I mean, I have a matter on at the minute now. Granted, it's a commercial purchase. We don't have an agent in it, and we've encountered some problems, some difficulties just in getting response times, etc. And obviously the client's looking at an update. It's extremely difficult in a scenario like that where you don't have an agent. I mean, my first port of call would be phone the agent, say, look, we're not getting anywhere here. Can you intervene? And without that, it's quite difficult. So we are all partners in the same process. And so, okay. Well, any closing thoughts, any advices to anyone? We're recording this on the 2nd of December. So anyone's sitting with their tree
ready to go. I suppose the advice for clients who want to complete before completion, it's be flexible. Yeah. We are doing everything we can to get it done, but you need to be realistic. Also be prepared, have everything ready to go. And if we ask you to fill in a form or get us a certificate, do that as quickly as you can. Yeah. And, it's not that we're sitting doing nothing. We're not waiting for you. We're doing everything we can to move it forward.
After today, we've got 13 working days that will bring us up to the 19th. We might have some spillage over onto the 22nd of December, but you will be well ready for a nice long break over Christmas.
We'll definitely be having a glass of wine when I get home.
Well, Katrina, thank you very much. And hopefully there's a few wee pointers there for clients, estate agents, mortgage brokers, anyone that is listening. And best of luck, I suppose, to everyone. Best of luck to you over the next couple of weeks and getting these completions over the line. And good luck to everyone that is hopefully buying or selling a house in this festive period as well.